The complete life story of Marilyn Monroe. She was the woman every man desired, and the woman every woman envied. Yet behind the glitter and fame, Marilyn Monroe lived a life of loneliness, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. This is the untold, full story of Hollywood's brightest and most tragic star, Marilyn Monroe. A troubled beginning. Marilyn Monroe entered the world as Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926 in Los Angeles. Her life began with uncertainty. Her father's identity was never truly confirmed, and her mother, Gladys Pearl Baker, battled severe mental illness. Because of Gladys's instability, Norma Jean was placed in foster care and lived in an orphanage for part of her childhood. She often moved from one home to another, never feeling like she belonged anywhere. She once said, "I never had a mother or father. I never had anyone. I just wanted to be loved." As a child, she endured neglect, poverty, and abuse. These early wounds would follow her for the rest of her life. Escaping childhood at just 16 years old, to avoid being sent back into an orphanage, Norma Jean married James Dougherty, a 21-year-old neighbor. The marriage provided her stability, but not happiness. While James went off to serve in the Merchant Marine during World War II, Norma Jean worked in a munitions factory. Fate intervened when an army photographer noticed her. Soon, she began posing for pictures, launching a modeling career. By 1946, she was appearing on magazine covers, and Hollywood took notice. That same year, she divorced Dougherty and signed her first film contract. She also adopted a new identity, Marilyn Monroe. Climbing the Hollywood ladder. Marilyn's early years in Hollywood were not easy. She was typecast into small roles. The pretty girl, the secretary, the background beauty. She appeared in films like Dangerous Years, 1947, and Scudda-Hoo, Scudda-Hay, 1948, where her scenes were barely noticed. But Marilyn was ambitious. She took voice lessons, studied acting, and transformed her appearance, bleaching her hair platinum blonde and developing the breathy, playful voice that became her trademark. Her persistence paid off when she landed small but memorable roles in The Asphalt Jungle, 1950, and All About Eve, 1950. These films put her on the radar of critics and audiences. Stardom arrives by the early 1950s. Marilyn Monroe was rising fast. She starred in Niagara, 1953, where she played a seductive femme fatale. That same year, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and How to Marry a Millionaire turned her into an international superstar. In 1954, The 7-Year Itch gave the world her most iconic moment, standing over a subway grate, her white dress billowing in the air. That single image became a symbol of Hollywood itself. Marilyn was now the most famous woman in the world, but fame brought both adoration and exploitation. Studios sold her as the ultimate sex symbol, while critics dismissed her as a shallow, blonde, the woman behind the image. Marilyn hated being seen only as a glamorous beauty. She longed to prove herself as a serious actress. In 1955, she moved to New York and studied at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg. She worked tirelessly on her craft, hoping to earn respect. Her efforts paid off. In Bus Stop, 1956, critics praised her heartfelt performance. And in Some Like It Hot, 1959, she showed her comedic brilliance, earning a Golden Globe for Best Actress. Yet, even at her peak, Marilyn felt insecure. She battled stage fright, low self-esteem, and the constant fear of being abandoned. Scars from her childhood, love and loss. Marilyn's search for love was as turbulent as her career. Her short marriage to Joe DiMaggio in 1954 was passionate, but troubled. Joe disliked her revealing image and struggled with her fame. Their marriage lasted only 9 months. Yet DiMaggio never stopped loving her. For decades after her death, he sent roses to her grave every week. In 1956, Marilyn married Arthur Miller, the celebrated playwright. She saw him as her intellectual equal. But the marriage turned cold. Arthur's writings revealed his disappointment in her, which broke her heart. They divorced in 1961. Marilyn longed to be a mother, but she suffered several miscarriages. Each loss deepened her depression. The price of fame. Behind the glamorous photo shoots and movie sets, Marilyn's life was unraveling. She suffered from insomnia, anxiety, and chronic pain. To cope, she turned to sleeping pills, barbiturates, and alcohol. Her reliance on drugs made her unreliable on set. She was late, forgot lines, and sometimes didn't show up at all. Directors grew frustrated, but audiences still adored her. Her vulnerability made her human, and perhaps that's why fans loved her even more. scandals, and politics. By the early 1960s, Marilyn was at the center of political rumors. In May 1962, she performed her sultry version of Happy Birthday, Mr. President for John F. Kennedy at Madison Square Garden. The performance sparked wild rumors of affairs with both John and his brother Robert Kennedy. Her ties to the Kennedys, along with her unpredictable behavior, fueled controversy. Some believe these connections played a role in her mysterious death. Just months later, final days in 1962, Marilyn began filming Something's Got to Give. But her health issues and absences led the studio to fire her. Still, she was hopeful about future projects and reconciliations. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead at her Los Angeles home. She was only 36 years old. The official cause of death: acute barbiturate poisoning, a probable suicide. But the circumstances were suspicious. Phone records, missing diaries, and alleged political ties sparked countless conspiracy theories. Was it suicide? An accidental overdose? Or was she silenced? To this day, no one knows the full truth. The eternal legend, though her life ended in tragedy, Marilyn Monroe's legacy is everlasting. She starred in over 30 films. She became the most photographed woman of the 20th century. Artists like Andy Warhol turned her image into timeless art. Her story inspired books, documentaries, and even films. Decades later. But more than fame, Marilyn represents something deeper: the struggle between the image the world demands and the person inside. She was fragile yet powerful, broken, yet unforgettably beautiful. Marilyn Monroe once said, "I don't want to make money. I just want to be wonderful." Her life was brief, her struggles were immense, but her spirit remains immortal. Marilyn Monroe was not just a star. She was, and still is, a symbol of beauty, vulnerability, and the price of fame. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories of Hollywood's greatest legends.